So a lot of people ask me, hey, I'm looking for a new BMX bike and I have no idea what to get. I see $300 bikes, I see $400 bikes, I see $900 bikes. What's the right one? What do I do? Help me out. And so in this video, I'm just really going to break it down for you and help you understand what different qualities you need to look for based on your skill level. So let's get right into it. If you are a beginner level rider, you don't need super high quality. The two things that are going to play into which bike you should buy or what level of quality you need would be your skill level and your weight. Those are the two things. So if you're a beginner level rider who weighs under 150 pounds, you can get away with essentially any quality level. If you are within those ranges and you're getting into BMX, I would recommend looking for a bike that has pro level geometry, which means the geometry of the bike essentially mirrors the same geometry that the pros are riding. If you look at a low quality beginner level bike from Walmart, that geometry is not even comparable to the geometry you would find on a low quality kink curb or cult access or something like that. And so if you are looking at a bike, I know it doesn't really matter the quality you get because you're a beginner and you don't weigh very much, but look for one with decent geometry. There are a lot of beginner level, low quality bikes available on DansComp, and if those are what you're looking for, I'll link to them in the description. So beginner level rider, don't worry too much about the quality and just get your first bike. If you have the budget for a mid-level bike or a high-level bike, I recommend buying the highest quality bike that you can afford. But generally, most beginner riders just want a first bike and they don't have fat stacks of cash to spend on this bike. And so I want to put your worries to ease and say, hey, just get a bike and start riding. Now, if you're a beginner rider and you weigh over 150 pounds, it's important to look for full chromoly where you can. It's important for you to know that if you weigh over 150 pounds, your weight is going to stress out the high tensile steel that comes on beginner level bikes and parts. Technically, you have a very high chance that you're going to bend some of these parts and that you're going to pay more later replacing them. And so for these kinds of people, I recommend getting at least a mid-level bike. If you're a beginner level rider and you weigh over 150 pounds, you want to look for at least a tri-moly frame. Full chromoly would be better. Full chromoly bars, full chromoly forks, and double wall rims. Buying those is going to save you a lot of money in the long run. Now, if you have mid-level experience and you don't weigh a whole lot, you can still buy complete bikes. But for most people who are mid-level riders and higher, I really think it's best to customize your current BMX bike. If you're a mid-level rider, you rode in the past, you sold your bike, okay, you can find a mid to high level complete bike and start riding again. But if you have a bike that's a low quality bike and you're a mid-level rider, so you're looking at buying a new complete, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be better to just buy aftermarket parts and upgrade that bike. That's what I did with my first bike. I had a low quality beginner bike, and as I broke the handlebars, I bought new bars. When I broke the forks, I bought new forks. I bought new wheels, and eventually I had a fully custom bike. It took me a year or so to do, but doing it that route, I was able to customize the specs that worked for me, the colors that I wanted, instead of looking for a brand new complete BMX bike. I could build my own custom, one piece at a time, and that was very beneficial for me. Now, if you're a high level rider, I wouldn't recommend anything under $800. If you're a high level rider, your skills and the type of riding that you're doing is going to put a lot of stress on the bike. And if that's the case, it's important to spend a good amount of money on a bike that's actually going to last you. This is the biggest problem I see with riders who have ridden for a while, is they just won't spend the money on a really good bike. They waste their money on a medium quality bike. That bike breaks. They spend more money over time by replacing those parts. And overall, it's just a bad experience. So if you're a high level rider, buy a high end bike. If you're a mid level rider, customize your low-end bike or buy a mid to high-level bike. If you're a beginner rider, it really doesn't matter as long as you get on a bike and start riding. Most people think, okay, well, I'm going to spend 6 months researching the bike. I'm going to get the perfect bike, and then I'm going to be really good at riding. And the reality is, if you only spent 1 month researching the bike, you bought a bike that wasn't perfect for you, but you had 5 extra months of riding, you're going to be much better because of that than you would be if you waited 6 months and found the perfect bike. Getting on the bike and getting started right away is essential to your progression. I put together a free training video for people who want to learn how to progress in BMX and get better at it. That's linked in the description. It's going to help you out if you check that out. We'll see you guys in the next video.